In this week's forecast, we are going for gold. We are shooting for the stars. Whether or not we land there, that's another story altogether. So let's get into this week's astrology. Hi, my name is Comet. This is Magic Monday, particularly your Magic Monday horoscope for the week of May 22nd to May 28th, 2023, where we are covering, just as we do every single week here in my Cosmic Corner, what the planets above us are doing and how we will feel these themes and influences down here on planet Earth. And rather than feeling powerless and like victims to the scary planets above us, here on Magic Monday, we really strive to take an empowered lens to your weekly horoscope, how you can co-create with the cosmos in order to live your most magical, your most aligned life, making sure to highlight opportunities of celestial blessings in the week ahead, as well as how to navigate some of the cosmic challenges. And this week has a mixture of both. And both the blessings and the challenges in this week's astrology all boil down to one word, and that word is confidence. Confidence is something that is eternally fluctuating. There could be moments that you feel like king or queen of the world, right? And then moments that you are like, should I exist? Should I just hide in my closet, really? It's something constantly in flux, and it's really important that you are able to really love yourself and ground yourself amidst both the highs and lows this week, because there are parts of this week where it is feeling ourselves energy, walking in with like your chest puffed, like big peacocking energy, right? Mars in Leo square Jupiter in Taurus. This is feeling yourself. This is getting your sparkle back. And this is shooting your shot for new challenges. Heck yeah, I'm gonna apply for that reach position. Heck yeah, I'm gonna go up and talk to that person that I think is cute. Hell yeah, I'm gonna slide into this person's DMs. Who wouldn't want to talk to me? I mean, it's me after all. This week definitely has some of that energy, and some of you have been waiting for this. Like some of you struggle with imposter syndrome, or you struggle with doubting yourself. Like this is a welcome burst of confidence from the cosmos around remembering who you are and going after it. Whatever it is that you want, going after your desires, shooting your shot. Now, I will say, later in the week, we have Sun square Saturn. So if a rejection comes up, if we go up to that cute person and it turns out that they have a partner already, if we apply for that reach position and they send back just a LOL with a slanty face emoji in the email, if we slide in the DMs and they lead us on scene, we could kind of be taking a little personally, because with Sun square Saturn, this is sort of like gut punch energy. This is sort of our ego being humbled just a little bit, right? Because you can either feel that rejection and be like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst. I'm never gonna approach somebody ever again. I'm never gonna apply for my dream job ever again. I'm never gonna send a DM again, right? Or you can take it as a learning experience, because my love, it is Gemini season. If you are not learning, you are not living. And this is an important week to take those moments where a couple of us might humble us a little bit, okay? A couple of us might be feeling a little ouch by little rejections or little challenges that we face, okay? And it's really just around our perspective. Just staying grounded in those times that our confidence is on fire, and just staying loving in those times that our confidence has taken a hit, because it's just part of the human experience. And I want you to know, even if that person left you unseen, even if you go up to someone cute and they already are committed, even if you applied to your dream position and they say no, firstly, you learned something. That is a lesson, that is gold within itself. And secondly, life just keeps going, okay? Everybody forgets about it. Life just keeps on going. It doesn't say anything personally about you as a person, and you never know until you tried. You really have to decide. Would I rather live with the shame around, oh, I was rejected, oh, I'm on scene, that job literally laughed my resume away? Or would you rather live with the, I wonder, because I'm telling you, the cosmos are aligning in such a way where a lot of us are finally awakening to certain desires, and we're not holding ourselves back any longer. We talked about this a lot in last week's astrology, but a lot of us have been hitting snooze on the desires of where it is that we are growing, and we're no longer doing that. Like, we're understanding how we have been getting in our own way, our fears, our anxieties. What would people think? What would happen if I changed? What would happen if I moved? Like, with Jupiter square Pluto, a lot of us are aware that that change, that empowerment, that transformation that we're craving is on the other side side of our fears, right? And a lot of us, honestly, with Mars and Leo, if confidence has been something that has held you back, like this is the cosmos aligning for you to be able to build your confidence. Because the thing is that confidence is not necessarily a natural state. It's something that is excavated and built. And I will tell you, should you shoot your shot, the next time gets a little bit easier. It gets a little bit easier. It is putting yourself out there is a muscle to work, just like everything else. And Mars and Leo is working that muscle. And I want you to, even if there is a no, even if there is a rejection, I'm telling you right now, life keeps going, and that expansion, that growth that you want is on the other side of the fear. So we will be diving deeper in both thematic as well as day-by-day analyses of this week's astrology. But before we do, let me know what you are sipping on to start the week ahead. We can't move into these highs and lows within our confidence without being caffeinated. Me personally, I'm drinking a Magic Mind today, who is the sponsor of this week's Magic Monday. Thank you guys so much. I love you. And Magic Monday, Magic Mind, it's a magical fit, and let me tell you how it can provide more magic within your life. A big secret to winning while Jupiter is transiting the sign Taurus is to stay focused and to ensure that your energy is being leveraged in a sustainable way. We are not burning out while Jupiter is in Taurus. We are watering the blooms of our desires day in and day out and showing up in a very diligent and steady manner. And let me tell you how Magic Mind helps me get there. Magic Mind has adaptogens and nootropics that work with your mind in order to really focus your energies, to get you into flow state so that you can be extra present, extra grounded with whatever it is that you are giving your energy to. Like I'm telling you, if you're like me and you're quite naturally a pretty scattered person, on Magic Mind, I'm really able to hone in on the task at hand before my mind starts drifting to another project altogether. I'm realizing that when I'm able to focus, I get my life back, I get my time back, I get more time within my schedule. There are a lot of tasks within my weekly schedule, things like editing, where I'll be kind of editing, kind of scrolling, kind of reading. Like I'm not typically somebody who's very good at just really honing on one thing at a time. I definitely notice the difference between days that I drink Magic Mind and days that I do not. Days I drink Magic Mind, it's crazy. I do one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing, rather than scattering, doing half of this thing, half of this thing. Like it's just a much more peaceful way of moving through my day. And because it is a healthier form of caffeine, it's matcha, I don't experience the crash that coffee gives me. So I'm able to really leverage my day sustainably, focusing on one thing at a time. It also has immunity properties within it. So it helps to fuel your body so that we're not getting sick. So it can really take advantage of all the Jupiter and Taurus luck that is within the cosmos. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Magic Mind shot. You can get your pack of Magic Mind for 20% off using my code, which is Comet20, and I deeply recommend it. One little bottle, all of the magic, okay? So let's go ahead and take this and get into Vibe Check of the Week. Cheers, my loves. So here on Magic Monday, we essentially summarize the week ahead's astrology in a segment that we call Vibe Check of the Week. And in Vibe Check of the Week, we essentially take all of that energy that I was just chatting you through, from Venus square Chiron to Sun square Saturn to Venus sextile Uranus. We take all of those terms, all of those concepts, and compare it to a real life scenario, so that even if you don't understand the intricacies of what's a square, what does Venus rule again, you could begin to relate to a scenario where you're like, oh, I went through something like that, or oh, I know how that feels, what have you. It helps to tune into how this energy will practically come to the surface within your universe. And this week's astrology feels like trying out for a high school sport. Did anyone play sports in high school? One of my favorite parts of every single week is reading your guys' comments, and particularly reading just the resonance that you're feeling as it relates to the horoscope, as it relates to the vibe check. So I'd love to hear if you played a sport, if you relate to this vibe check. I hope not, but if you do, because let's continue. So it is sophomore year. Okay, you're in high school and you are trying out with all of your buddies, right? It's basketball. And you cannot wait. You're with your buddies. You cannot wait to hang out with them. You know, it's your second year of high school, so you're starting to feel yourself a little more. And you know that when you make varsity, you know that you guys are going to just be able to hang out all the time, go to all the tournaments. Maybe your crushes will be into you. You just cannot wait. And granted, maybe you did slack off a little over the summer. You didn't practice or train as much as you necessarily wanted to, but you've got it. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. So you get to tryouts and you put your all into it. You just go in. You are dribbling. You are shooting. If you can't tell, I'm not a very sporty person, but you are doing it, okay? That ball is going in that hoop, man. You're making it happen. And you kind of do overextend yourself. Like you really play super hard on your ankle, you have shin splints, like you aren't really in shape. So it kind of overextended yourself and you really didn't play as much as you wanted to, but you got in the bag. You've got it in the bag, you've got it in the bag, you've got it in the bag. Finally, the day has arrived where they put up the list of names. Oh my gosh, it's not anxiety inducing. I'm thinking back to my experience and just how nerve-wracking it was to walk up to the list. But anyways, you're walking up to the list and you go, you put your finger onto it and you scroll down the numbered names, scroll down. Oh, there's my friend. There's my friend. There's my friend. There's my friend. Oh my gosh, we all made it. Wait, where am I? Where am I? And then you see the other list and you're like, no, 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 no. And you look to the JV list and you are the only one out of your friend group who made JV, junior varsity. And your ego is bruised. You are trying to be happy for your friends, but you are so sad. You are so sad. You were so ready for this new challenge in varsity and you don't know anybody who really made JV. You really wanted to be with your friends and you just feel like this is going to hold you back a lot. You thought you were much better than this. You can't believe it. You can't believe it. You can't believe it. But let me tell you, there are blessings that emerge with your spot on JV. You are really able to be the star of that team and you're still feeling challenged in new ways. Like you are really able to hone your skills. You turn out to be captain of JV. You step up as a leader and you make a whole new set of friends. So it did hurt your ego. You're like, was I not good enough? Why didn't I make the team? And you overextend yourself, right? You hurt your ankle. Maybe you weren't as diligent as you should have been over the summer, like running and training. And this JV opportunity really allows you to hone your craft. Like part of you want to just be like, well, I'm not even gonna play. If I'm not varsity, I'm not even gonna play. But you put your ego out of the way, you know, put your bruised ego in check and realize this is an opportunity to growth. And this is an opportunity for me to step up as a leader and to really hone my skill set. And this one failure was really just the universe's redirection, and we all need to have that mentality this week. We may not all be trying out for JV or varsity, right? But there might be certain challenges that come up this week where it's really important to understand Jupiter is in Taurus, okay? There is no rush for what is meant for you. Like you never know how this redirection, even if it bruises your ego a little bit, if it hurts a little bit, you never know how the universe is setting you up for something so much better. How next year, when you go try out, not only do you have these new friends that you had on JV, you have this new skill as a captain, you try out for varsity, you make it, you really appreciate this reward. And because you really had an opportunity to learn about group dynamics and to be a leader, you rise to the top of varsity and then you become captain of varsity. Like again, sometimes we lose the battle and win the war. So it's really important to hone in on where am I learning at this particular leg of the journey with the Gemini season, knowing that sometimes our biggest lessons come in the form of those ouch, right? In those moments, that's when we're learning the most. And to understand what it is that you do has nothing to do with who it is that you are. Your value is not tied up into your successes and your ambitions. And furthermore, it's not tied up into your losses as well. It's very important to have some detachment, to understand whether I win, whether I lose, whether I make varsity or whether I make JV. It's really important for me to really hone my skill set and where it is that I am now, continue to love myself regardless, and really just make the most out of what my life is giving me at this particular moment. So without further ado, let's go ahead and provide some more nuance for this astrology, how it comes up day by day. I want to let you know before we go into our day by day breakdown that every time that I mention is PDT. I'm located in California. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to adjust to your time zone if you are not PDT as I, and also timestamps are below. So if you want to jump to a particular day, jump back to a particular day, feel free to do that. I do have a tendency to talk very fast. I'm very focused after I took my Magic Mind shot. So please feel free to slow me down or speed me up. I loved last week. People were like, girl, you don't talk too fast. I speed you up. And I was like, I feel you, because I listen to everything at 2 times speed. But no worries. Like, I want you to find the speed that aligns for you, because I know that we all process the world at a different speed and process information at different speeds. So feel free to utilize that function from YouTube below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into Monday, May 22nd. Happy Monday, happy Magic Monday at that. Let's get into your astrology forecast for Monday, May 22nd. So I want to let you know that late last night, late Sunday night, we had Sun in Gemini, sextile Mars in Leo. This is an energy around feeling invigorated by the new opportunities to learn and love that are in front of us, right? Being able to imbue a sense of playfulness on the new challenges that await us. During Gemini season, it's so important to chisel your eternal student mindset, to look at the lesson of life school that you are in currently through this lens of what can I learn here, right? That's why Geminis are so freaking intelligent, because they know every single person, every single scenario of our life, every single chapter has something for us to learn if we are willing to learn it, if we are open enough to learn it. And it's sort of like with Sun sextile Mars, we're open and we're playful about where it is that we're currently learning. Like, there's this energy of like playfulness and fun that we're sort of exuding on our current challenges in life, right? Rather than feeling like, ugh, I just want to be married already. We're being able to enjoy the process of courting and dating our partner. Or maybe you're feeling this at work around, rather than being like, oh, I just want the promotion already. You're able to be learning what you can at this role and maybe finding new opportunities to create and to express yourself and to make it something fun and lighthearted and playful. We're just sort of having this fun approach to the challenges that are coming up, as well as feeling ourselves. Like with Sun sextile Mars, this is healthy confidence, right? Of course, this is an opportunity aspect, but I want you to know the opportunity is there, so take it. And like I said, this happens late Sunday, early Monday, and I just want you, wherever it is that you're feeling challenged this week, whatever to-dos are on your list and certain ones that you're like, oh, that might be hard, or oh, that might take a lot out of me, how can you make it a game? How can you make it something fun, right? How can you infuse a little lightness and a little playfulness, right, into that particular task? Like, you might need to do a certain amount of sales calls. How can you make it fun? How can you chisel that muscle around communication? Like, again, Gemini views everything as a lesson, and with the energy of Leo, an opportunity to unlock new aspects of ourselves. So take it if that energy is available to you. Later in the day, that Mars and Leo, so it had a nice little combo with the Gemini Sun where they're just having some fun with where it is that we are learning, with the new challenges that are coming up. We are feeling ourselves. We may not have all of the information that we need to thrive right now, but we're open to learn, and that's the first step, right? I will say, later that night, the Mars and Leo sort of fights with Jupiter and Taurus, and that was the energy and the vibe check around overextending ourselves as well as overestimating our skill level. When it comes to Mars and Leo, listen, I love this transit. I love this placement. Mars is our energy levels. It's our action. With Mars and Leo, we want to be the best that we can be. We want more for ourselves. We want them to hear us roar, and they should. But with the energy of square to Jupiter, we are not being realistic about our resources. We are not being realistic about our capacity, particularly physically. Like, one thing I want to say with Mars square Jupiter, be cautious around what you take on your plate. This is very much giving, oh, I've got it, hand it over to me, and then you are swamped. We are not being realistic enough about the capacity that one human can take. And it's very important with Jupiter and Taurus that we are being as pragmatic as possible. So when someone comes and is like, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? It's totally okay to say, I do not have the bandwidth for that, okay? Like with Mars and Leo, there's almost this energy where we want to make everybody happy. And with the square to Jupiter, we might be a little overly optimistic. Like, what? It'll just take me 15 minutes. My love, you know it's going to take you 2 hours. You know it's going to take you 2 hours. And so sometimes you do have to let people down, and that's okay. It's okay to let people down, okay? You can only do what you can do. Like, I just cannot emphasize enough how important it is with Jupiter and Taurus to be intentional about our energy and to be realistic about what we can give our energy to. The other manifestation that I see this coming to service with Mars square Jupiter, try not to overexert your body, over push your body. With Mars square Jupiter, we can be either like professionally committing to too much, right? Or physically, like signing up to do a half marathon. Haven't even ran a 5K. Like this could be energy we're overestimating how much physical stamina that we can have and then overexerting our body, which is why in the vibe check, you know, we hurt our ankle. And also with Mars square Jupiter, it's very much that energy around, I've got it. It's puffing up your chest. It's like, I've got it. I've got varsity. I don't need to train. I don't need to train. I've got it. Because I will say, I chat about this more in the Jupiter and Taurus video, which all of the videos that I mentioned, I will link them below in the description. A downside of Jupiter and Taurus is that we could kind of be kind of lazy during this time, okay? Like I'm telling you, those blessings that I talk about in the Jupiter and Taurus video, those are not coming to us unless we literally pragmatically take energy towards it. Taurus, love it, love the energy, love it. Shadow side can be a little bit of sloth, okay? A little, you know, they're sensual, they're enjoying life. Sometimes a little too much, okay? Maybe over the summertime, you weren't exactly running drills to get ready for varsity tryouts. You were chilling, right? And with Jupiter and Taurus, we know that the results that we want is on the other side of intentional actions. And so with Mars square Jupiter, we can be getting a little lazy with things around, oh, I've got it, it's fine, it's fine. I'll be ready to run that half marathon, or I'll be prepared for that meeting, no problem, no problem. Like, you know, Mercury hasn't cleared the shadow yet. So I would just say be overly realistic, okay, on the capacity of what it is that you can take. And it's funny that it's like starting the week, so it just feels like an energy where you're like, this week, I'm gonna solve that issue at work, and I'm gonna write the proposal, and I'm gonna do all these things, which is amazing to shoot for the stars, but I just don't want you to feel disappointed at the end of the week when you're like, I did only 2 of the things that I set off, and now I feel like a loser, right? Like sometimes it is important to be realistic so that you can feel like a winner at the end of the day. Like I always feel so lame when I have unchecked little to-dos at the end of the day. I'm like, even if I did a lot of things, I'm like, you failure. So I've been really working to just kind of hone in around, okay, if I could do these 5 things or these 3 things, whatever number, that'll differ for all of us based on what our day-to-day looks like. But whatever number is your number, and just doing them well and being intentional, that is what matters. With Mars square Jupiter, there could be a tendency to overestimate the time things take, the energy things take, as well as being overly optimistic on, it'll get done. It's fine. I'm just going to chill here rather than practice for this thing that I really want. As well as, you know, let's be real, with Mars square Jupiter, this can be an energy around shooting our shot or being like, I know they're into me. Like, who wouldn't want me? I mean, don't get me wrong, who wouldn't want you? But all I'm saying is with Mars square Jupiter, we might be, you know, feeling ourselves a little too much. And keep in mind, I think we should all feel ourselves. I think we should all be confident. And I think Leo energy shows us all what it means to be confident, to feel yourself. And that's why it's so lovely to be around Leo energy, because so often how it is that we connect is we make basically like self-deprecating jokes and things of that nature. And the highest vibration of Leo energy is just being the king or queen that we are and holding our head up high and really feeling ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. I want you to hone into that. That is not a bad thing. But what I'm saying with Mars square Jupiter is that there can be a little cockiness, okay? There could be a little cockiness, like the highest vibration of Leo energy is confidence backed by the skills, like walking into that tryout confident because you practiced all summer, okay? Not this grandiose feeling around, I got this, I could do this while I'm asleep. It's like earned confidence, right? And just with Mars square Jupiter, not everybody has earned the confidence that they're projecting. This may not be you. You may just feel this at work. Okay, you may just feel this with random people who are catcalling you when you're just walking home, right? With Mars square Jupiter, people being a little too cocky when it relates to what it is that they're trying to get. Leverage this optimistic energy, feel yourself, play your playlist that makes you feel like a baddie, you know, work out with this energy, just don't overextend your body, do what makes you feel confident, charge up your life force, but just try not to overcommit because you're just not seeing your bandwidth very clearly. And with Jupiter and Taurus, it's deeply important to honor your bandwidth. You cannot do it all and be it all, and that's okay. We need to really hone our focus, sustainably focus on what it is that we most want to grow during this time. Very Jupiter and Taurus analogy, but truly, if you try to grow all the things in the plot of land, they're going to steal each other's resources. Sometimes it's good just hone on a couple of things that you're trying to grow. So you have your job, you have your side hustle, you have your relationships, like you have your things, just a couple of things that you're trying to grow. All I'm saying with Jupiter and Taurus, and I'm right there with you, this is something that I'm really trying to learn as well. A lot of us are going to be guided during this time to just really focus focus our energies, okay? Whether it's coming from that people-pleasing energy with Mars and Leo just wanting to be like, yeah, I could do it, I could do it, you can count on me, you can count on me, I don't want to let you down. Or just you personally not wanting to let yourself down around, no, but it's really important to me that I'm starting 3 businesses while working my 9 to 5, while raising my kids, while doing all these things. Like, I just need to be everything to everybody. I will tell you, that is a recipe for disaster. And the thing is, when you're overachiever like that and you commit to a lot of things, it does work for a while, and then you feel like, oh, well, I could do it. I could do it. I could do it. But regardless, there starts to be mistakes in little arenas. There starts to be little things that were overseen. And furthermore, you know what falls last on that list is always going to be you. It's always going to be you. Sometimes just energy level, we just need to cut something out in order to hone in on our resources, right? Like going back to the gardening analogy, sometimes we need to cut off the dead leaves of a plant because it's sucking away the resources from the rest of the plant. Like if your heart is not in something, like it is okay to just focus your attention on what it is that your heart is in order to give all the resources, all the energy to it. So that'll only be a message for a couple people, but I just want to say, if anybody is being down on themselves because they feel like they are not doing it all and they need to be doing it all, I don't mean for this to be disempowering, but it's simply just not possible that you could do it all. I know you can try. Regardless, you're gonna set yourself up to feel bad about yourself when you don't live out everything perfectly, okay? And so that'll only be a message for a couple people, but if you're feeling scattered, if you're feeling overextended, this might be an important week to just kind of hone in around, okay, where is my heart in and where is it not? What am I feeling motivated to grow? And what am I not, okay? Because with this Mars square Jupiter, it just feels like we're spreading our energy really thin. And there's sort of like a wake-up call towards the end of the week around, okay, I tried to do it all and I didn't quite get there. So what needs to be essentially limited for me to really hone on what I'm most wanting to nurture and grow within my world? And I will say on Monday, the Cancer moon trine Saturn and also sextiles Mercury. So great time to make a list, make a to-do list. Like I said, there will be a temptation to put all the things, okay? Be realistic, be realistic. Mercury has not cleared the shadow. And just with the Cancer moon, grant yourself space to fluctuate, okay? We've got the moon in Cancer, we've got Venus in Cancer. It's ruled by the moon. Okay, and the moon feels and the moon responds. And the thing about fluctuations is we just have to grant ourselves that space. Astrology is in cycles, nature is in cycles. And when we look at the passion planets right now, Venus and Mars, we see that they're both answering to luminaries, the sun and the moon. And the thing about luminaries is that the luminaries are about how it is that we feel. So again, our feelings can be enhanced. We can be feeling extra powerful. We can be feeling extra sad. Like basically every experience of life, we're just feeling things a little bit more. It's a little bit dialed up. It's a little bit enhanced. We're a little bit extra. We're a little bit dramatic, whatever word you want to assign to it. So it's just important that you're just loving yourself within those fluctuations, that you are doing things to make yourself feel confident, to seize those moments of confidence. When you're feeling yourself, that you are doing things to really leverage that. Like when in those confident moments that you are, you know, whatever it looks like for you, filming or taking selfies or reaching out to the people that you've been meaning to reach out to, or creating, like doing things that really leverage that confidence, as well as during times that you're not feeling so confident, that you're doing things to nurture yourself and love yourself. Like allow yourself to be in flux this week. There's going to be certain energies where you're just feeling guilty around not being productive as you wanted to be, not getting as much done as you wanted to do, or not being exactly as you wanted to be. But the thing is, you're not a machine. A lot is adjusting, a lot is fluctuating. So allowing yourself the space to fluctuate. You are a human being. And just with Cancer moon trining Saturn on Monday, allowing yourself to build forward in a sustainable manner, using your emotions to inform what it is that you are building. And then with the Cancer moon sextile Mercury can be aligned for having a conversation, meal planning. Random would be super aligned. That lands around noon, so maybe during your lunch break, writing down like things that you want to make or something of that nature. Take a lunch break, relax, remember to rest. Don't overextend yourself. Like, you know, a challenge that I've been trying to do, and I'm going to recommit to it on Monday, is not eating my lunch at my desk. Okay, if any other desk lunchers, let's take a break, okay? Let's not look at our phone while we're eating. Let's actually be present. It really does make a difference the days that I actually go and eat my lunch away from my desk. I'm always like, I don't have time to take a break. But like realistically, it probably only takes 10 or 15 minutes to eat. Like, I think it's okay to take a pause and you can come back feeling a little bit more restored. So all I'm saying, any other dusk lunchers, you're safe here. I see you, I understand you, but let's challenge ourselves on Monday to actually take a little lunch break. Okay, and then that evening, there's like a sensual romantic vibe, and here's why. The Cancer moon meets up with Venus in Cancer. It technically exacts like the next day around 5 a.m., but we all feel this build. And this is really wanting to nurture what and who we love. This is feeling our emotions. It's a great self-care night. And there's for sure a sensual vibe, okay? All I will say is that, you know, Mars square Jupiter, it's definitely passionate. It's definitely passionate. And then the Cancer moon meets up with Venus. That's all I'll say. Okay, that's all I'll say. So it might be a nice time to spend time with the person that you love. Make a nice little meal with the Cancer moon. Really be present in spending time with them and really nurturing the connection. And then with Mars square Jupiter, feel yourself, put on a show, all of that. Let's take it on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, the 23rd, as I highlighted, the Cancer moon conjoins Venus in Cancer. That exacts at 5:41 a.m. So like I said, the night prior, it was building to that. So there's like kind of a romantic or enjoyable or self-care vibe. In the morning time is when it exacts. For some of you, some time zones, you will be awake for it, but all I'll say is you enter Tuesday, ask yourself, what would make me happy today? Or what can I do to enjoy today a little extra? Like finding those opportunities to romanticize your life, whether it is going for a walk, grabbing a baguette, having a picnic, taking a big lunch, eating a muffin on your way to work. Those little opportunities that make life a little sweeter, a little bit more enjoyable. Maybe even eating something sweet, putting a little honey in your tea. Dress up, okay? Venus is the planet of beauty, it's the planet of the feminine. So with Cancer moon conjoining Venus, it can be a really aligned opportunity to nurture yourself through making yourself feel beautiful, doing some sort of beauty ritual, getting ready for the day, listening to music, burning a candle. Find those little opportunities to just enjoy a little bit more loveliness and pleasure into entering Tuesday. I didn't say it'll stay, but please invite it as you start your day. The Cancer moon does square Chiron. So again, whenever the moon's in Cancer, you just have to prepare yourself for happy, happy, sad, sads. All of a sudden you're thinking about experiences that you had when you were in 5th grade. Like, we need to remind ourselves that with the energy of Cancer, this is the past, this is nostalgia. So Mercury may be direct, but there can be part of you where you're like stepping into new challenges while missing elements of your past in some semblance. And just with the energy of Cancer moon squaring Chiron, there can be certain wounds or certain ouches that are sort of coming to the surface. Like, for example, let's say you took a long time to get ready in the morning and, you know, you're doing your hair different, you're doing your makeup different, and then your partner doesn't compliment you and you're just like, ouch, like I still know I look good, but it wouldn't have been nice had you cheerleaded me in that moment or made me feel special in that moment. Like, there just feels to be a little wound. Again, that won't come to the surface for everybody. Maybe it's driving to work and you thought somebody would give you great feedback on this thing and they don't. And there's just this like, ouch, just a little like emotional moment. It also could be seeing something that reminds you of something that you miss, that there's just like a little ouch, as well as just having a little moment around. Do you ever have moments where you do something when you're really confident and then you think about it and you cringe and you're like, why did I say that? Or like, why did I do that? I feel lame, right? Like I said, we're all fluctuating all the time. There can be times when you're feeling yourself and you do something, and then later when you're not feeling yourself as much, you're like, girl, what was that? And it just feels like with Cancer moon square Chiron, there can be like a little cringe maybe, or just essentially just some emotions coming to the surface. And then the Cancer moon sextiles Uranus and Taurus, which is really finding some novelty as it relates to our day. Like I said, the moon conjoins Venus and the sextiles Uranus. Venus sextile Uranus builds a little later in the week. So there is beauty in this week. It's soft, it's subtle. Sextile is an opportunity aspect. So there's blessings. In this hindrance, in not making varsity, there's blessings. We have to slow down to find them and enjoy them. That's a huge part of Jupiter and Taurus. It's just slowing down to enjoy the particular lesson of where it is that we are before we rush into the next one, okay? And just having faith in the universe and having faith in divine timing is so essential at this time. And so rather than trying to skip steps, just like ask yourself, if you've been like so waiting for the new start, you're like, ugh, I want to move, or I want a promotion, or there's some desire that I want, but it's just not happening. Like you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, but it's just not happening. Like this is really a time to kind of look around and be like, okay, what do I need to learn from this season of my life before I can get to the next season? What is it? What new aspects of myself, what new character development do I need before I can get to my next season? With the energy of Cancer moon sextile Uranus, it's just being able to find new opportunities, new even ways of nurturing ourselves, new ways of going about our day, new creative outlets, things of that nature. On Wednesday, the 24th, the moon is void in Cancer around 2:14 a.m. Closing aspect is a trine to Neptune. So journal on your dreams. They certainly can be trying to tell you something. You could have dreamt about somebody from your past. There can be aspects of our life that we are being a little bit nostalgic about, right? And to allow ourselves that space to be nostalgic about past iterations of ourselves, around past, eras that we have been through. But just remember, the focus of life is still forward. You can take a moment to reflect, but continue to push on. But all I will say is that there can be dreams. It can be a little harder to get up in the morning. Okay, Neptune energy, it's always just like molasses. Like dream world just felt so good. Listening to music feels so good. It's just like responsibilities. Must you exist today? And then the moon enters Leo at 7:35. So again, with the moon entering Leo, this is confident. This is feeling ourselves sort of energy. I will say it's under some stress. It's a little stressed Leo moon, okay? Because it gets in the middle of this ongoing beef between Jupiter and Pluto. Now, I do deeply recommend checking out last week's Magic Monday if you have not, because that energy that I was chatting through of Jupiter square Pluto, which exacted last Wednesday, we're still in that, okay? These are two slow moving planets, and this Leo moon is pulling in that ongoing square from the two, creating essentially a fixed T-square, but really a grand fixed cross, because it's also pulling in the nodes. So all I'm saying is there's some tension in the cosmos, okay? And so with the Leo moon essentially squaring Jupiter and opposing Pluto, we're being reminded of that. So again, the core theme of Jupiter square Pluto, I go into a lot more depth last week, but the core theme and the core conflict of this was really wanting growth, right? We're really wanting growth as it relates to our inner landscape, and we're wanting that to show up within our outer landscape. And with the Leo moon, we could just feel torn to how things are versus how it is that we want them to be, how it is that we project them to be versus how it is that they're showing up now. There can be a lot of egos, okay? When there's a lot of fixed energy in the cosmos, people are very stubborn. This is how it is that I see it, right? This is how it is that I perceive it. And there's certain kind of ouches in the cosmos that perhaps the stubbornness is you not wanting to accept, because the Venus in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries. This is an ouch, particularly as it relates to Venusian affairs. This is an ouch as it relates to love, right? Going up to somebody cute with the Mars square Jupiter, giving them your number, and then never hearing from them with Venus square Chiron. Being like, ouch, I thought I was looking good that night. I guess not. Or like with Venus square Chiron, it's the pang of not belonging. Like we were talking about with the vibe check around all of my friends are in varsity, and you're like seeing them in their cool jerseys, and you have the weird jersey with JV and you don't know any of these people. It's just like this energy around, ouch, dang, like on outside looking in sort of energy. Like, where do I belong, right? And also with Venus square Chiron, some of us can be feeling this around not feeling like you have the resources that you want or would crave in order to feel safe. We need to bring it back to Venus in Cancer wants safety. We want safety as it relates to our love connection. So again, it's like I was feeling this person, they looked like somebody that I can, I go to loud places to find someone to be quiet with. Like, this looks like somebody that I could be quiet with, right? I could just ground down and feel safe with them, and like, dang, they were not that home and a human being that I'm looking for with Venus in Cancer. And rather than just understanding, hey, that's just not my person, there's like this pang around, what's wrong with me? Am I not that pretty? Am I not that pretty? Or like when it comes to our finances, this paying around, why am I not good with money? Or like, why does this happen to me? Why is this how life is? A lot of us can be, in our head around beauty with Venus square Chiron, be conscious of comparison energy. Like honestly, the combo with Venus and Cancer squaring Chiron, it just feels like looking at old photos of yourself and being like, why don't I look like that anymore? Or like, why did my hair look like that? Or my body look like that? Like, again, the best iteration of you is yet to come. Like loving prior versions of yourself, but also understanding future you needs your attention right now to be present, to enjoy all of all of what your current expression has, as well as there will be future you will miss certain aspects of your life now. So be present for them. So just being conscious around Venus square Chiron. Some of you will be missing an ex. Some of you will be in your head around you feel like you used to be more beautiful before. Some of you will just be feeling insecure about your beauty or about your looks. And some of you can be having certain pangs around not feeling safe with your current resources, not feeling safe with your current home, or maybe even feeling judged by certain family members or things of the nature. And it's really not if your source of conflict is around people, I would just say with Wednesday, with the fixed T-square, we want change. We don't want to change, okay? Like, let's say if that's coming up with family members or something of that nature. When we have a lot of fixed energy within the cosmos, people are just kind of set in their ways. They're very, very dialed into their own perspective. And they might want things to be different, right? But so rarely do we want to be like, I'm going to take initiative and I'm going to be different, right? That's hard. So all I want to say is that on Wednesday, there could just be energy around, you're like this, I'm like this, no one wants to compromise. It's not very productive. And with Venus square Chiron, we're all a little sensitive. We might not all be showing that we're sensitive, but we're all feeling a little sensitive. We're a little ouch. We're a little ouch from the rejection or the feeling of not belonging or the feeling of not feeling beautiful. We're just a little on edge. We're feeling the feels. Allow yourself to feel the feels. This current rejection or wherever it is that you're not feeling good enough, wherever it is that you're feeling rejected by your current partner, you feel like they're not noticing things about you, wherever it is that you're missing your ex, there's this energy around, ouch, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Because with Chiron in Aries, it's very much symptomatic around like, am I the problem? Am I the problem here? And it's like loving yourself through those emotions, understanding this is not a productive day to have those conversations. Maybe you're feeling it with bosses. You ask for a raise, they say no. With Venus and Chiron, you're like questioning your worth. You're like, am I even valuable to this team? Do they not see my value? Okay. Like, it's just really important on Wednesday. Like, it's not saying that you're perfect, but with Chiron and Aries, just being mindful around where it is that you are internalizing these things. Like sometimes rejection just happens and so rarely does it say anything about you. Anything about you. They might not just had space for you on varsity. They maybe just literally didn't have it in the budget, even though they should have it in the budget to give you a raise. But let's say they didn't have it in the budget. Like there's just an energy where we're internalizing where it is that we're perceiving romantic, financial, or beauty rejections, okay? And it's just really important to love yourself, nurture yourself through those feelings. And also the Leo moon does conjoin Mars. So that's why I'm saying it's like hothead kind of energy where we're reacting. We're feeling things and we're reacting. And it's like, it's wounded pride, okay? That's what the energy is giving. It's giving, you hit a sore spot and now I'm gonna come after you because you hurt my pride, right? And I'm hurt and I'm not gonna show you that I'm hurt. I'm just gonna go on the offense because my ego is feeling threatened. That's not very productive for having conversations, okay? So all I'm saying on Wednesday, if there is an issue with a boss, with a partner, you know, we're all a little triggered, we're all a little sensitive, our prides are a little wounded, so it's not the most helpful, even though the Leo moon does sextile Gemini sun. What I will say, if you're not in this stand-up energy, which some of you will be in, what I will say is that with Leo moon sextile Gemini sun, follow your instincts around creativity, look for ways to have a little fun. That's a thing. Some people have a little fun by messing with people's emotions or trying to mess with their mind. And this is an energy where you could be a little bit more reactive to people actually just trying to be lighthearted and make a little joke. It just feels like somebody making a joke, then you going on the offense because your pride was wounded and be like, whoa, this and this and this. It's just like Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It's the energy of the trickster. It's not always so serious, but Wednesday we're taking it very serious because that lighthearted joke triggered something deeper within us. So just important energy to be mindful of as you navigate. So on Thursday, the 25th, at 3:11 in the morning, the Leo moon squares off with Mercury in Taurus. Like I said, this is stubbornness. This is battle of head and the heart. My heart says this, but my head says this. This is what's logical, but this is what it is that I feel. Or it even feels like this battle around your head's like, it's not a big deal. They were just making a lighthearted joke yesterday. And you're like, but it made me think of that so painful time of my life. Like, it was so funny. I was hanging out with my high school friends a little while ago, and we were just like cracking jokes about all this like embarrassing stuff from high school. And like one of my friends made a joke and then I was like, and she was like, oh, okay, too far. We don't talk about that yet. Okay. A lot of stuff we've like healed from, but when she said that one thing, I was like, oh, haven't healed from that yet. Getting there, getting there. It wasn't malicious at all. We were just joking about so much stuff, and then I didn't realize that I wasn't healed from that until it came up, and I was like, oh, okay, that one still stings a little bit. And it's like, logically, I know that's in the past and it shouldn't hurt, but sometimes the heart just feels what it is that it feels. And like I said, with Mars and Leo, Venus and Cancer, we're feeling things a little more. We're being a little extra, okay? So allowing yourself to feel these things. You can rationally talk yourself through, like, it wasn't a big deal, it was just a joke, it was just a joke, but allowing yourself to feel what's coming to the surface. There is a healing bomb on Thursday, though. The Leo moon trines Chiron in Aries, which is around getting our sparkle back, right? Feeling confident. We like recovered from the day prior, Venus square Chiron around, okay, felt the feels. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Let's remember that we're feeling hot. Let's remember that we're feeling good. It just feels like that energy, like with Venus square Chiron, this is like the energy when you're like so sad or like so stressed that you don't put any energy into how it is that you feel. And literally getting ready does something magical for your mental state. It's amazing. You don't think it would, but it's crazy how much just putting on a cute outfit, putting on some makeup, or just doing whatever it is that you get ready for the day, like it really does make a difference. Like that's the energy with Leo moon trine Chiron, is it's like, oh, I'm feeling myself again. Like the day prior with Venus in Cancer squaring Chiron, you were just like crying in sweatpants, but the next day you're like, wait, I'm actually hot and I don't need to be sad. That's the vibe. And then that evening, the Leo moon squares off with Uranus. So things can be unexpected, okay? Matters from the heart. There can be push-pull within, you know, relationships, or there can just be a desire for spontaneity. I say relationships because the really after midnight, Venus in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus, which is favorable for newness as it relates to love and money. And just with the energy of Leo moon squaring Uranus, we want something different. So it just feels like an energy around, you guys had all the stuff to meal prep, but it's like, I want to go out in the town. I want people to see me looking this good. I did my makeup today. Let's have an adventure. Like Leo moon square Uranus is a little spontaneous. I will say for those who have kids, there could be a restlessness. This unfortunately happens very late on Western time. There could be some restlessness, up and down emotions. Uranus is up and down. But I would say, in terms of romance, this would be aligned to do something spontaneous out on the town. And then the moon's void at 11:38 p.m. On Friday, May 26th, I want to let you know that shortly after midnight, Venus in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus. And this is unexpected blessings. This is you being on JV, and it's not what you wanted, but it's exactly what you needed. There was unexpected blessings there, unexpected blessings in terms of connection, unexpected blessings in relation to your confidence levels. Sextile is an opportunity aspect. So in order to tap into the blessings of what is currently being presented, we need to let go of how it is that we thought it would be. And not all of us will get there. So with Venus sextile Uranus, as we've been talking about with a lot of the Uranus aspects lately, it really is being able to take the lemons and make lemonade. Just make the best with the particular iteration that you are in. Learn all that you can in JV. Be the best that you can be. As well as with Venus sextile Uranus, this is really around being able to infuse some novelty as it relates to our love relationship around, okay, with Venus and Cancer, I feel safe with you, right? Let's do something new. Let's go somewhere new. Let's plan something new. Let's bake something new. Like Uranus is about novelty. Maybe it's even around having new ways of being able to support one another, new ways of being able to meet one another's needs, something of the nature. Of course, the sun's in Gemini, so communication is favorable at this time. And with Venus sextile Uranus, being open to new ways to be able to really nurture your love relationship, new experiences to nurture your love relationship. I will say, with Venus in Cancer sextile Uranus, it would be aligned if any of you have been craving to do something new beauty-wise. Like that's a energetic glow up, right? Like not feeling yourself, then you get your hair done and you're like, wait a second, now I'm feeling great. Like some of you will get your hair done, or try a new makeup thing, or try something new with your clothes where you'll be feeling yourself, okay? Like Venus in Cancer sextile Uranus and Taurus is this energy around trying something new and feeling ourselves. Money, unexpected, like I want you to affirm, I'm open to unexpected money to find me, even if it's in small amounts. Random check in the mail, check your PayPal balance, Venmo. There just could be hidden money places, so just being open to it, as well as just like little ways that abundance finds you, like pennies on the ground, right? Gifts that people give you. Your coworker brought muffins to the office. Like these are all the universe giving you things, right? And it's important to take that moment to be grateful for it, right? Like it's interesting, just with the Venus square Chiron, like I said, there's like this wound around how it should be, and maybe I'm the problem, but the universe is like, but wait, I'm giving you stuff. You just have to be open enough to see it, rather than being like, well, I wanted donuts. Like accept the muffin when you get to work. Or if you're like, I wanted, you know, an unexpected bonus. Well, accept this money that you would have spent via this discount on something that you needed, or this gift. Like again, gifts and money and resources and support from the universe, it so rarely comes in the way that we thought it would be. And when we suffocate it by being like, no, it needs to come through this way, we close ourselves off from the blessing. If you were to just quit JV, just be like, whatever, you would have not been able to develop yourself as a leader and learn all these things. Like with Venus sextile Uranus, just be open to unexpected blessings, unexpected beauty, unexpected money, unexpected love. Okay, this might be a time that some of you go out to find somebody or go on an app if you're trying to meet somebody, right? Uranus is about technology. And I want to let you know, Friday the moon is void nearly all day. Fridays already are unproductive, and this is like an extraordinarily unproductive Friday because the closing aspect of the Leo moon was that square to Uranus, which is wanting to do anything besides the mundane. Like it's very restless, it's very spontaneous. It just feels like a day where you're not gonna feel like doing anything. Like it feels like the day where you're just like skittery at work, you like open a doc to work on this, but that seems boring, so you start this. It's just the energy where focus can be a challenge, right? You're wanting to be anywhere but there. You could be craving spontaneity. Maybe that Venus sextile Uranus is an energy where maybe you have the day off or something. You could just do something spontaneous, go to the beach, right? Or work on a new project or something of that nature. All I'll say is with the all-day void moon on Friday, that's what I was saying. Be realistic with your goals. Oh my gosh, and it's Memorial Day weekend, huh? Maybe if some of you have this off or you're so excited for the weekend that you're not getting a lot done, but all I'll say is that's why I wanted you to be realistic with what it is that you take on, because Friday is not giving productivity, okay? I'll be real. There is blessings with Venus sextile Uranus. It's like you thought you were gonna work on this doc, but turned out that this new opportunity came up and you got to go to this conference or something. Just important to be spontaneous. Technology could also not be working. Sometimes that's the energy with Uranus energy. So again, I know it can be so frustrating. Like I'm a time block girly, so I time block everything that I do. And sometimes it's like, well, this was the time that I blocked to work on packets. Now my Wi-Fi is not working. But again, following the nudges around, okay, well, if Wi-Fi is not working, what can I do? Can I clean my desk? Can I film TikToks? What do I need to do with this time? And then the moon enters Virgo at 8:05. See what I mean? It's literally void all day until 8 p.m., okay? And then with the moon entering Virgo, we could be in the mood to handle the little details of our life, from the cleaning to the to-dos to the errands, okay? That's the vibe when the moon enters Virgo. And we forget that Virgo is an earth sign. It's very sensual, and like it meets up with Jupiter in Taurus. So again, this would be a really great night to go for like a nice meal, right? You know, the Virgo moon's gonna pick out all of the different notes in the entree that you ordered. And like trining Jupiter, you're gonna have a fun time. You're really gonna enjoy the vibe of the aesthetic and the wine and like all of the aspects of where it is that you are. I'm still filming this during Taurus season, and I cannot wait to get to next week and get to Gemini season, because I will tell you, I've been going out to eat so much and I really need to stop, but I like keep telling myself like, well, it's Taurus season. So like every time somebody asks me to go grab a meal, I'm like, well, it's Taurus season. And it's like, it needs to not be Taurus season any longer, because I need to stop going out to eat all of the time. But all I'm saying, Friday you have permission, okay? With the Virgo moon trining Jupiter in Taurus, we're in the mood to enjoy. We're in the mood to enjoy beautiful places, delicious food. Maybe this is just an at-home dinner, cooking for someone that you hold dear, and just infuse all of the senses, candles and music and just all of the senses. So that aspect, the Virgo moon trining Jupiter, technically doesn't exact until after midnight, but I just want to let you know we'll feel that build. On Saturday, so the Virgo moon trines Jupiter at 12:53 a.m. So again, we'll feel that build Friday night, but it exact Saturday morning. And this is a vibe around being open to beauty. Would be a great morning for a hike, okay? Being immersed in nature. Again, the Virgo moon likes to feel productive. It likes to feel efficient. So maybe this is cleaning to serve the Virgo moon while doing something enjoyable, like listening to music to soothe the Jupiter and Taurus, while encouraging more beauty into your home, right? Or with the Virgo moon trining Jupiter, going for a hike, right? You're getting a workout, but you're also enjoying your senses, like finding a way that you could be efficient while also enjoying it. And then we have the first quarter Virgo moon at 8:22. And the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Virgo. overthinking central, okay? We have 2 Mercury ruled luminaries, a lot of overthinking, okay? It's a little anxious. It's a little anxious, which is why I'm saying a hike or cleaning or doing something kind of grounds you down, because it just feels like mentally you could be all over the place. You could be feeling frazzled by the choices ahead of you in the weekend, little things like getting to, you know, if some of you have plans, I would love to hear, getting to your Memorial Day plans can feel stressful. You're in your head, did I pack all of the things? Like it's a little stressful, because the first quarter moon is a crisis point where it can be a call around wanting to take action on our intentions from last week. So if the Taurus new moon was deeply impactful for you, there can be reverberations of that intentions or desire to jump into that intention. So again, planting the seeds around, I want to start going to workout classes during the Taurus new moon. Saturday morning might be the time you actually have to do it, right? We can't just dream about it, okay? When Jupiter's in Taurus, we actually have to do it. If we want to make varsity, we actually have to put in the work. And it just feels like with Saturday would be an aligned day around, okay, if not now, when, right? Because the Virgo moon is open to growing and improving. And the Virgo moon pulls in the conflict that will exact the following day of the Gemini sun square Saturn. Like it's technically a mutable T-square building in the cosmos, because the Virgo moon, after, you know, squaring off the Gemini sun, opposes Saturn, which is kind of like bad news, right? Like you look at the list and you're like, dang, I'm not on the list. Like that is such a bummer. But again, Gemini sun wants to learn and the Virgo moon wants to perfect. So again, maybe this is asking, you know, the coach for feedback around what could I do to make varsity? It's like you either have a decision here. You can rise to the challenge of the lesson that you're in currently, or you could just give up, right? And with the Virgo moon, like seeing this as a learning opportunity, like there can be an ouch or emotionally just feeling a little drained or a little restricted. But again, what is it that you can learn here? How is it that you can practically improve the current iteration of your journey? Because the Virgo moon then trines Mercury and Taurus. So it's like, ouch, my name's not there, but why? Why is it not there? What do I need to work on? How can I improve, right? Like that's the energy of the Virgo moon, is how can I improve? And I know that bums a lot of people out. I know it's not the most fun always to be like, okay, what can I do? How can I take this into my own hands? But again, it's how badly do you want it? How badly do you want to be on that varsity team? How badly do you want to improve? How badly do you want those Taurus new moon intentions that you set last week to happen? How badly do you want change, right? Are you open to change? Are you open to reflect in order to get closer to the change? Like this is some of the energy that we're asking on Saturday. Because think about your most recent tryout or audition. I know when I was talking about auditions a couple weeks back, we had a lot of thespians, we had a lot of actresses and actors enter the chat below. So whatever it is that you can relate, whether it's an interview or a tryout or audition, you have to be willing to grow. You have to be able to dial in the details to be like, okay, what can I be doing better, right? It's Virgo moon's all about constructive criticism, especially with the trine of Mercury and Taurus around, okay, how can I learn from this? How can I grow for this? Because if you can alchemize that bad news, right, Virgo moon opposite Saturn, to something that you can learn from, you win, right? And oh my gosh, those tryouts, those interviews, those auditions, they could be so stressful, especially when you want it, right? Like in those situations, you need to decide, how badly do you want to be on varsity? Are you willing to do a year on JV, sharpen your skills, come back and get on varsity? Or are you just gonna like give up? Just be like, nope, varsity or bust. You have to decide how badly you want it. And this is the time to sort of dig deep and be like, okay, I'm gonna learn. It might take some humbling, right? But I really want it. Because when you feel that awaken within you where it's like, ooh, I want this, you dig your heels in and you go for it. Jupiter is in a fixed sign. I'm so sorry, I'm still talking about Jupiter, but it's just important. Jupiter is the brand of luck and the growth that we're after. So with Jupiter now in Taurus, it's a new brand of luck. And with Jupiter transiting fixed Earth, Earth is all that pragmatism that actually needs showing up with that, our actions energy. Fixed is maintaining energy, being, you know, stubborn about the right things, right? Stubborn about our desires, especially the right ones, the ones that we really, really want. You know, when that gets awakened within you, I'll never forget. It was 8th grade. It was 8th grade. And before I tell this story, can you comment below? Can you comment below what sport would you guess? Just from my energy, from listening to me, what sport would you guess that I played? Comment below and then I'll continue. So, okay. Did you comment? Okay. I guess it's kind of a trick question because some people wouldn't consider this a sport, but I was a cheerleader. It makes a lot of sense. Doesn't it make a lot of sense? Like all I do every single week in this Cosmic Corner is like cheerlead you guys on. This time I just use, you know, cosmos and astro terms instead of pom-poms and football. But I love to make people happy. I love to cheer people on. That's all I do for my clients, is I really just love to speak to their strengths and the opportunities, the transits they're moving through. Like, it just lights me up. And I've always loved doing that. So it made sense why I was drawn to cheerleading. But anyways, it's 8th grade. And the tryout was out there. I never thought I would be a cheerleader. I've always loved to dance, but I was like, why not? I'll just try it. I'll just try it. What's the harm in trying it? But what I wasn't expecting is when I got to the audition, something just unlocked in me and I was like, heck yeah, I need this. I've got this. Like, I don't know. I loved it. Firstly, our audition song was a Britney Spears song. So like, made for me or no? Made for me or no? Made for me. So something just like enlivened me during that tryout where I was like, no, I'm made for this. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, who was I before I was a cheerleader? I have no idea. I was like, I am made for this. And I put my all into it. I mean, I got obsessed. Like, I've talked about this before. I'm very Platonian. So it's like, I'm not just kind of into something. It's like all in, right? I was just obsessively working on it, obsessively working on it, obsessively working on it. And I just will never forget when that list was posted. I was like so nervous walking up to it. Like, I didn't even know I wanted to be a cheerleader a couple of months prior. And then all of a sudden I was like, my life depends on whether or not I'm on those pages. I was the last name. I was the last name. And you know, in the bigger picture of things, it doesn't really make a big deal, but you know, when you're in high school, everything feels like the biggest deal ever. It's so fun to see threads of what it is that you do now in past things. Like, oh, it makes sense why I'm a nurse. I would always be helping everybody on the playground with their wounds. Or like, oh, it makes sense that I'm a musician. All I wanted to do was be in band class. Like, it's fun to see those threads and like, you know, it was not my calling. I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not here with pom-poms, but I hope you can feel my desire to want to cheer you on based on where the cosmos are sort of nudging you. And let me be clear, because I know what a lot of people's thoughts go to. I was never the mean girl. I was never the bully. I know a lot of times we hear cheer captain, we're like, oh, well, you were, you know, the mean girl, you were the popular girl, whatever. It was not like that at all. Okay, I was just cheer captain because I was peppy. I just liked wearing bows. I just liked the cute outfit. And you know, it's not about not making the team. Like, that's not the vibe, but it's about loving yourself, whether your name is on that list or whether it's not on your list, because that's just what life is. It's victories and losses, you know, all in one experience here on Life School. And it's really about being able to show up for yourself, cheerlead yourself in the ups and downs. On Sunday the 28th, the Gemini moon squares Saturn in Pisces. So as I said, this is kind of like an ego. This is an ego bruise. This is feeling punched in the gut. It's like an ouch, right? We're not feeling so confident. We could be feeling socially awkward, right? At a party and being like, am I a weirdo? Does everybody hate me? What is going on? This is the energy around, you know, you wanted to be close to your friends. You don't know these people. With Sun square Saturn, you can be not feeling your best. You can be not feeling very confident in where it is that you are. There could be a loss. There could be bad news. There's just something where it's just like a little bit of an ouch. But what is it that you do with the ouch? Do you use it to be better? Do you use it to love yourself? Do you use it to give yourself a self-care day? Like, it's just really important. You know, life will have many different challenges and we cannot live our life wanting to circumvent the challenges, right? Only wanting to audition for the teams that we know that we will make, only starting the businesses that we know will succeed. Because the thing is, that doesn't happen in life. Like, there's no good or bad experiences. There's simply experiences that you learn from. That's why you cannot do life wrong. You cannot do life wrong. Even, let's say you start a business and it doesn't work out. You learn something, you take that into the next thing. Even if you end a partnership, if you're meant to be that with that person, you guys will come back together. Even if you don't make the team, you never know what that break will teach you around the next time that you audition. You cannot do life wrong so long as you are learning. And with this energy, it's better to have tried and failed than not have tried at all, is the vibe. And just so important to be big on the self-care this week, big on the self-love this week, okay? You are not the sum of your accomplishments. You are not the sum of your wins. You are not the sum of your losses either, okay? You are simply a human trying your best, experiencing these things, and it's all about what it is that you do with these losses, with these wins, how it is that you love yourself through those losses and those wins. And then Sunday is giving very much like house cleaning energy as the Virgo moon trines Uranus, so you might want to infuse some fresh new energy into the home, open the windows, get some fresh flowers, get a plant that. And with the Virgo moon sextiling Venus and Cancer, it's helpful for beautifying the home, meal prepping, cooking, enjoying, dialing the details, working out, things of that nature. My loves, that is our week. What are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to as much? I would love to hear below. Our Magic Monday mantra of the week is, I am realistic yet optimistic. Going into situations and expecting the best, but also knowing that you're not going to feel like the worst should that not transpire. Okay, that is what confidence is. Confidence is walking into a room and feeling confident. I think they'll like me, but being fine if they don't. Life will have many more rejections. There will be many more losses. There will be papers that your name is not on. And if you allow yourself to get attached to all of these things and allow them to bruise your ego, bruise your confidence, my love, it's going to be a roller coaster. Again, we feel what we feel, but it's just so important to show up with your head held high regardless, okay? Using this as data, to come back and be even better, right? Like with Mars and Leo, we really are motivated to be our best self, and you are only able to be your best self should you be open to the feedback. And listen, I know it sucks. I know it sucks to go up to the varsity coach and be like, why didn't you pick me? And they're like, you know, your form was sloppy and blah, blah, blah. Like it hurts to hear those words, right? Like I know for anyone who's on the internet, you know, sometimes when you like read a comment, you're like, ouch. People are taking the time to let you know how it is that you can grow and how it is that you can improve. Because the best person, the most accomplished athlete, the best business person, the best tarot reader, the best fashion designer, the best interior designer isn't the person who's like, I know everything, and they back down from every challenge because they don't want their ego to be bruised. It's the individuals who are willing to put themselves out there, because when your ego gets bruised, you learn something. You learn something that you can use to improve. So it is about being optimistic, right? It's about feeling yourself, being confident about the person that you are, but also understanding when inevitable losses and things turn out that weren't as you were expecting occur, understanding it does not reflect on you personally as a person. Allow yourself to channel this Gemini eternal student mentality around just learning and growing within this particular iteration. This loss is not all that you are. You'll get them next year. You'll get on varsity, and you've got this. So that is our week. Always love to hear you guys' comments below. Let me know how this resonates with you. Thank you so much to everyone who popped in. Let me know that you guys listened to the end last week, even though I was literally reading the Odyssey by Homer is what it felt like. That's how long that Magic Monday was. If you listened to the end of this one, if you could drop below a basketball emoji. Okay, drop below a basketball emoji if you made it to the end. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I'd love to connect with you over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.